What? Is there something on my everything? This video is sponsored by Insta360. And that means a couple things. One, it's not gonna be a completely unbiased review, but you should know. Insta360 asked me to make videos for all of their cameras. In fact, they had even asked me to make a video for the original Insta360 Go, and I was like, no, thank you. I didn't like it. I really did not like it at all. And that is not the case with the new version. The Insta360 Go 2 fits somewhere between an action camera, a lifestyle camera, and some type of wearable tech. It weighs just 18 grams, can be mounted pretty much anywhere you can think of, and even in its charging case is barely any bigger than a pair of AirPods Pro. Despite being a third of the size and a sixth of the weight of a standard action camera, it's still sporting the same size sensor that you'd find in a GoPro Hero 9. It records in 1440p at up to 50 frames a second, but you can also ramp that all the way up to 120 frames a second. It has log profiles, HDR, and some of the best stabilization you can imagine. Seriously, even when you're on a jog holding it out at arm's reach, the footage looks like it was shot on a gimbal. It's stunning. Hey Siri, where are you? There we go. That's more like it. The first thing that we have to talk about here is the all-new form factor. And form factor is the thing that I hated most on the original Insta360 Go here. On the original, you had this right here, and it was a similar size, similar shape, but there's two things that were really annoying. That you had to you had to kind of force, what the heck? Ow. Oops. You had to force this plastic lid off of it, take the camera out, and then you could use it places. We'll talk about that in a minute. But beyond just charging this camera up and connecting it to your phone, the case itself was pretty much useless in my opinion. Or at least comparatively it was useless. It had this terrible lightning connector that stuck out of the bottom, which you needed to plug into your iPhone, but that meant two things. One, you needed to have an iPhone, and two, this is just asking to be broken, especially if you can't find this like rubber protection-y type thing. But even that, you know, it also used a micro USB connector here on the bottom, which is a cable that I'm trying to get cut out of my life completely in favor of USB-C. Let's move that aside. This is the all-new Insta360 Go 2. It's about the same size as an AirPods Pro case. Same idea, slips in your pocket, easy as, but it is not headphones. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Rather than just being a charging case and a way to interface with your phone, this does so much more. For starters, it opens this way. And on here, you're able to change what mode you're shooting in, your frame rates, your picture profiles. You can see how much battery you have, how much space is on the card. You can change the field of view. You can change pretty much all the settings on the camera right here on the case. And that's a big win in my books because I hate when a product feels like you have to connect it to your phone for it to be functional. Here, you can do it from the case. It also has this right here, which makes it a little tripod. And what's amazing about that is it means you don't have to rely on either the magnetic functionality or all of the, tiny random accessories that the last one needed to stick it anywhere. I don't even know what this one was for. I've been using it as a handle to film myself, to film the world, and when I want to get a quick static shot of myself, I just put it down somewhere and walk away. You might be thinking, wow, that is a much better case. It gets better. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it gets better. When you take the camera out of the case, look how small this thing is. It's so little. The case automatically connects to the camera via Bluetooth, I guess. What's so cool about this now is that you can put it somewhere magnetically and you can still start and stop your recording, you can change the modes, and for me the most important thing is that you can see if the camera is recording. So even if there were no other accessories, no other ways to use the camera, just with this form factor, it's already leaps and bounds better than the original Go. This is Christoph from the Maybe Someday YouTube channel and also from the studio we share together. He's one of my best friends, most trusted collaborators, but what matters most today is that he is an incredible FPV pilot. And that's what we wanted to test out. Transition.
Nice.
Oh my God! I hope the camera was recording. I have no idea. Yeah, it was. Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Dude, this is really popping off, bro. Yeah, there's a lot right now. Really? I'll just do this. See how I left some sun right there. I don't know if that's recording right now, but here you go.
Invisible drones. All of the drone is within the crop, basically. That's pretty sweet.
Remember when you said we should 3D print the housing?
Oh, that's basically what that is. And is there like a mode for FPV, or is it just like the old one it was, but it was just so you could turn on an extended record time?
No, because this one you can record like 30-minute clips.
Okay. Is it waterproof?
Yeah, it is.
That's good. Not that we're gonna need that. The GoPro adds so much weight to it that it actually changes the way you fly a little bit. So this will be, I mean, you'll get way better battery life. Let's see what happens.
Okay, ready to fly? Oh my gosh! Okay. All right, tell me what you think. What are your thoughts so far without seeing the images?
I would say it's really nice flying such a light camera, because like when I was diving the waterfall, it took almost nothing, like no throttle to pull out of it, which is nice, like especially going right back to the GoPro after I definitely felt the weight, which also means I get longer flight times because it's not hauling as heavy of an action camera. So I would say you probably get an extra minute or so of flying, which with an FPV, that's a lot.
Right, because the battery is already only like 5 minutes.
Batteries only last 4 or 5 minutes, so. And I mean, for me too, like if I post stuff on YouTube or Instagram, it's nice to be able to have both vertical and horizontal in the same shot. So yeah, just have to see how the footage looks.
Yeah, me too. When you record in the pro video mode, what I love about that is that you get to choose your aspect ratio after the fact. So let's say an example like this, where I'm filming for a YouTube video. I want all the footage, horizontally, 16:9, so I can put it in this video. But when I wanna maybe promote this video on my Instagram story, or on TikTok, or whatever else people consume on their phones, you can just re-export the footage in 9:16. And that is not a crop from the center. That is an entirely new composition where you're gonna add, another 50% to the top and bottom. If this is your first time seeing my channel, I built an audience primarily making these super heavily produced Instagram stories. I was doing them daily for several years, and now I do different stuff. But in that period, especially when I was starting to push into YouTube, it was always a struggle to decide, am I gonna hold the camera vertically or am I gonna hold it horizontally? Because I had to decide, is this going to Instagram or is this going to YouTube? With a camera like this, I can shoot a full Instagram story, and then if later on I wanna talk about moments from that Instagram story or reviewing the camera, I can just have those clips horizontally. It's amazing, and vice versa. Along the FPV, but also just regular usage lines, one thing that I love that they've added is the lens itself is now removable. What this means is if you crash your FPV drone, spoiler alert, and smash your lens, you can easily swap this. You could also, in theory, make a thread on ND filter. I don't know if anyone's working on that, but it would be possible. Another benefit of shooting in the pro mode is not only do you get to choose your aspect ratio in post, you get to choose the type of stabilization you're gonna use. So you can use the incredible horizon lock, which basically means no matter how you hold the camera, like this, it's always gonna stay locked off properly. But what can happen is when you're flying FPV, well, you're doing flips and spins and dives, and it's really hard for the camera to know what horizon actually is. But also in FPV, you do wanna feel some of that floatiness. So when you export, you can still have the hypersmooth stabilization, but turn off horizon lock. And doing that will give you a much better image. I wanna be able to do a cool slide.
All right, so we finished one full battery, which is, fine. Battery life is fine. We put it back in the case, which will charge it up 4 more times. And I don't know, how long did we have it in the case for? Like 15?
I just hit the button. 10 minutes?
10 minutes? Yeah, we probably had it in the case for, 10, 15 minutes, and it's back up to 65%. So we're gonna send the drone back up. Battery life is okay, but it sucks that you can't swap the battery in an FPV setting. So, if the battery dies, you just have to charge it up in the case again. You can't, buy another Go. I don't know.
I think there are 2 different kinds of people that are gonna make great use out of a camera like this. The first is everyday, average, regular people. People that are either looking to document their memories, trying to capture their family adventures, their family lives. Maybe they're looking for an easier way to capture footage for their social media pages, but they aren't first and foremost tech focused or cinematography focused. They're just looking for something that's convenient, compact, and intuitive to use. These people are gonna love just how easy it is to organize and edit the footage right on their phones from the Insta360 app. And they're also gonna love just how simple it is to capture solid, stable, quality footage. The other type of person that I think is gonna love this is, well, it's someone like me. It's someone that likes to create internet videos. They understand picture profiles and resolutions and frame rates, and they're always on the hunt for a tool that can provide a unique angle or unique image to their work that they haven't been able to find elsewhere. And I think the Go 2 is incredibly compelling in that regard because you can reframe your shots without losing resolution or without losing any of the details. And there's just so many places you can put this camera that you can't put any other type of camera. Funny enough, I'm realizing now, I'm both of these people. I've been using it to film my family, and I've been using it to film my social media content. So,
Good run.
I guess I'm both of the people. Final thoughts about the camera. I love it. Honestly, I love it. And it's almost entirely down to the fact that this form factor is like nothing I have ever used before. It's practical, it's convenient, it's versatile, it's something new in my workflow. And if you're a camera nerd like me, it's not that often you get a new tool to play with. If you're interested in learning more, there's a link down in the description where you can either just read or get yourself one, because this little guy, it's really cool. Honestly, it's really very cool. I can't believe I like it so much, because this stupid thing, I hated it. It did not work for me. This works for me. This is fantastic. Thanks for watching. You're pretty cool. You might be. Well, everyone's pretty cool, right? Like, everyone's a little bit cool. They've got like one thing about them that's cool, right? I don't know. But you are. Bye. See you later.